Hi guys, welcome to this speed build video in The Sims 4. My name is Irene and today I am building my eco-friendly private island. This video is a part in a brand new series going on my channel right now called Real to Sims. And in that series I'm trying to recreate real life houses and in this case a real life project in The Sims 4. And yet today a private island or an eco-friendly private island. I came across some pictures of a private island. I thought they were so gorgeous with houses on them and just had to investigate, and they turned out to be man-made private islands, and they all have a floating base and they're built on reinforced concrete eco-friendly pontoons, and they're a project from Christie's International Real Estate. Christie's International Real Estate, together with Dutch Docklands, a Dutch company, and of course I'm from Holland, so that immediately spoke to me as well. And yeah, they're all eco-friendly islands for the very wealthy people among us, because they start from $10 million. And the cool thing about them, that they're eco-friendly, of course, because of these reinforced concrete eco-friendly pontoon things. I had that write down, but I think you've noticed that already. And of course they're in the middle of the ocean, so they have a lot of sun, so they use solar power. They have a couple of backup generators though, but they're really eco-friendly, and I think that's so cool about them. And even more cooler maybe is that you can choose your own size and your own shape because of these pontoons, and that's why they come in a lot of different shapes and a lot of different sizes, and you can find them shattered across the coast of the Maldives, Florida and Dubai. And yeah, I just had to recreate one in The Sims 4 in the game here today. So yeah, that's what you can expect from this video. A fully functional house on a private island, and with a small basement with a bathroom in it with a skylight above it. And I'm creating that skylight right now, or actually the deck above it. Later on I will create a gap underneath it, but of course you can all see that in this video here today. I'm building it on this 64 by 64 lot on the island in Windenburg, and Windenburg came with the get-together pack for The Sims 4. And maybe you think, wouldn't this build be way more pretty in Sulani? And you're totally right, and that's where the whole trial and error process of this build began, because I started this build out, or I wanted to build it on the ocean lot. It's a 50 by 50 ocean lot in Sulani, in the middle of ocean, and I thought, yeah, it was just perfect for it. But I wanted to make some hills on the island as well. I didn't want to make just a floating deck on the water with a house on it, because I thought then the whole idea of an island would go away. And on these ocean lots in Sulani you cannot use the terrain tool, so I could ditch that whole ocean lot idea. And that's when I tried to build it on one of my favorite lots in the entire game. There's a 50 by 50 beach lot in Sulani, and I used it for my latest build as well, the house in the rock. And I think it's a gorgeous lot with gorgeous environment surrounding the lot, but it was just a 50 by 50 lot, same as that ocean lot, where on that ocean lot I only needed the space for the island because I already had that entire ocean. But on that beach lot I had to make a pool to create the illusion of an ocean, and then I didn't have enough space left to build the island itself. So that's when I decided to build this, on this 64 by 64 lot on the island in Windenburg. And I love building here as well because it's 64 by 64, so I have a lot of space. The light here is perfect. But something where I always talk about, incorporating the environment surrounding the lot with the lot itself. It's not the case in this build. No, it's totally just, the whole environment don't take a look at the environment. It's totally not fitting for this build, but I just had to use it if I wanted to make this build perfect. And that whole perfect thing, yeah, that was really the downfall for me. But it was so much fun. It sounds a little bit like complaining, but that's the case why, and that's the reason why this build took me so much time and why I didn't upload last Monday, because I missed an upload day again. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I tried this build on a lot of different lots, of course. And when I placed it here, I wanted to do a lot of things with the round shapes. The picture that I used, there were a lot of round shapes as well. And round shapes are kind of a thing in The Sims 4. Because unfortunately we cannot create round walls. And as you can see, I've just placed in a round deck. And that's basically the only thing that we can use as a round shape in the game. And of course you can use a lot of items to create an illusion of a round shape. And that's what I did in this build as well. I made all that green on the island, as you can see, and there's a very fine line all around it. I used very small debug stones for it. They came with the Jungle Adventure pack and I used them before in other builds of mine. And I sized them down as far as I could and I combined them all together to create a line all around the green to make it look a little bit more fluid and a little bit more natural. And you can see me do that in a couple of seconds as well. And I already did it as well. And I painted all these round shapes on the ground here with the terrain paint and of course with the sand underneath it. And creating all these round shapes with these small stone fences, it was so time consuming, but it was so much fun though. It was so time consuming, so that's why I cut a lot in the footage. Because otherwise, later on, I will use some stone slabs to create a rim all around the island and to make it look a little bit more round as well. And that took me so much time, but where I was talking about, I cut a lot in the video, in the footage, because it was so repetitive and I thought it was a little bit, dull. As you can see here, I'm placing in all these stone slabs to create a little bit more of a rounded shape, but I almost already did everything. So you can see me start the process or end the process when I'm doing repetitive things, but the whole repetitive part, I cut it all out of the video. Normally I would never create this rim all around the island, because normally I really like to make my builds look as natural as I possibly can. But today it's real to Sims and I'm recreating a man-made island. And I took a good look at the pictures that I got. I got a couple of pictures of different islands, but I used the pictures that I had from just one island. I had 3 pictures of that island. And it's man-made, so it looks very pretty, but it's all man-made, as I said. So that's why I thought it was more fitting to create the rim just all around the island. And that will be the same for the green, for the grass that I'm creating later on. I will use some bushes for it from the Island Living pack. I will place a lot of palm trees everywhere. But normally I will blend the area between the green and the yellow with each other, and I will place some mud underneath the palm trees to make it look more natural. And I will place a lot of rocks all around the island. Or you can see me start with the bushes right here. Or I would place a lot of rocks all around the island to make it look more natural. But in this case, I'm trying to recreate really a man-made island. So I wanted to make it look pretty, but kind of artificial as well. The bushes that I used here, they came with the Island Living pack and they are so pretty. They were a little bit tricky in this build as well, because as you can see, I already raised the ground up here with the terrain tool. When I finally found a lot where I wanted to build in and I could really use the terrain tool, I used it quite a lot because I thought it looked a little bit more fluid with a lot of hills everywhere. And then I wanted to place the bushes on them, but normally you place these bushes on a flat underground, and when you want to place them on a hill, sometimes they're just floating in the air, they're sticking in the air. But when you size them down a couple of times, or when you place a lot of them on top of each other, you can still make them look like they're all part of just one big bush. So that's what I did here as well, and I cut a lot in the process over here as well, because of course that took me a lot of time too. But yeah, I thought it immediately changed the look of the entire island with all these bushes. But the main thing that really changed the look of it were the crazy amounts of palm trees that I used in this build. Of course, I took a look at the pictures that I had, and there were so many palm trees on that picture as well on that island. So I had to do it over here too. And normally I would think it would be a little bit too much, but in the end I actually think it looked quite pretty. Basically because I think these are so amazing trees. They're so pretty, and of course they came with island living, but I think the whole structure of them, they're so fine made. The base came with some palm trees as well, but they look, not so pretty as these ones. Some of these palm trees have these brown leaves in them, and they look a little bit more natural on this artificial island. So a lot of palm trees everywhere. Over here, I'm creating a basement here, and in this basement will be the bathroom, and I already made a skylight too. So the bathroom will not feel as a basement or a dungeon because it's very light over there because of that skylight that I made over here on the left, where I'm placing these chairs on right now. And of course, I had a lot of space underneath the entire island. But this wasn't an underground build, it was a real TheSims build. So I only used that small part as a bathroom because I needed space for a bathroom, and I only had pictures from the exterior, so I kind of did some things with the interior that I thought would be cool. But if you wanted to download this build and put it in your own game, and if you want to play with it, because of course I will put it up on the gallery, you have a lot of space left, so you can do a lot of things over there with that underground space if you want. You can really take that to your advantage if you want. But I decided to not do it here because otherwise it would be an underground build and not really a private island build. I'm working on the furniture here. A lot of white furniture. I use these couches a lot. They came with a Moschino pack, and I love using them because they combine very well with a Moschino sofa too. In that way you can really make your own modular couches. I used it over here on the upper deck in combination with an ottoman, and I think that ottoman came with vintage glamour stuff pack if I'm correct. And I placed them in front of the couches from Moschino, and in that way I thought I could create the illusion of a bed there. And a lot of white and a lot of lights everywhere. And that was because of the pictures that I had. I had one picture that showed the island at night. And there were a lot of lights everywhere. So of course I had to place them in my build as well. I'm just placing in them here just normally, but later on I will all size them down a little bit, because after I placed in all these lights and I took a look at the build just from a little bit further, I thought they were a little bit too obvious and a little bit too big. So that's why I decided to all size them down a little bit. Now they're all just white lights, but I went into live mode and I changed the colors up in a more warm yellow, and I think it looked way prettier than just that white light. And I actually liked the look of the island at night as well, and I almost wanted to use that night look as a thumbnail for the screenshots and everything. But because the light was so pretty during the day too, and I thought these palm trees just looked way more pretty with the direct sunlight on them, I decided to just take all these pictures and everything during the day. But especially when I changed up the lights to that warmer yellow, I thought it looked way more pretty at night as well. For onto the bedroom. Is it really a bedroom? It's so open. But we're onto the bedroom now. I used this bed again. It's one of my favorite beds. I use it all the time, but I really want new beds in the game. Of course, we got these Murphy beds with a tiny living stuff bag. And I love the tiny living stuff bag. I used a couple of items of the stuff bag in this build as well, like these tables with the glass and the black under it, and later on some chairs of them as well. But yeah, the Murphy bed, I didn't use it yet, and I think it's only very fitting for a tiny home, or yeah, a home that's very typical for it. And of course, I'm always happy with new items and with other items, but I just want stylish design beds. I'm so ready for new beds. And of course, maybe you saw previous builds of mine, I created my own beds with stone slabs underneath them, and it looked cool, and I wanted to do it over here. Actually, I wanted to do it over here as well, but I thought I already did it a couple of times. And when you want to play with the house, it's not really functional. You have to remove these stone slabs underneath the bed, because otherwise your Sims cannot enter the bed. So, long story short, I want new beds in the game. I made a very small kitchen, quote-unquote, area here. I used a grill and a small refrigerator that came with the Discover University pack, so it's not a full-on kitchen. I still wanted to make a place where your Sims can eat, and luxurious barbecue area for that matter. And I tried a couple of times to place in a sink there, but I thought it was a little bit out of place, and of course I will place a sink over here in the underground bathroom with a skylight over it. And yeah, I think then we're almost at the end of this video already. I really hope you've enjoyed it and you liked this build. If you did, please give it a like or a comment or something. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you did. I try to do a lot of different things with my builds on my channel to keep you guys inspired for your own builds. And yeah, I really hope to talk to you soon, and I hope you will have a great day today. Goodbye!